This is the knitting news from Knit Happens Teesside for the 41st week of 2024. Last night we went to the Wellington Inn, otherwise known as the Welly. Helen was working on her last few crocuses for her blanket and plotting and scheming. So we're out on a trip this weekend, which I'll probably add on to this video when I've been. So our reporter in the field has been accompanied by me. We're going to Durham and we're going to like an opening of a new woolly venture. So I'll tell you more about that when I've been. Jill was working on her lace cardigan, and on the top of the sleeve, I'll show you on this one, you have to cast off so many and then finish the rest in lace and then go back and then cast off a few more and then go back. So the thing that was, and I remember making this cardigan, you know when you're doing lace and you're doing yarn overs, you have to calculate and think about whether you're doing a yarn over where you need to be shortly decreasing and whether you've actually decreased that amount of stitches, or with having made one at the end, you haven't. Does that make sense? It is something to be thought about. I think maybe the last few stitches you should just knit, so that when you cast them off, you haven't made any and you're casting off the right amount. I don't know. There's experts out there who could tell you more about that, like Anna Canalis, maybe, if you look her up. Because I don't profess to know everything. There was another challenge to Jill doing her casting off, and that was a group of really noisy men behind her. I think they were workies, so sort of contract workers, maybe working away and like getting a few pints and something to eat, and they did go quiet when they got something to eat, so that was quite nice. But next to them there was a table full of ladies who were sort of abruptly cackling. I suppose we did as well. And it's a great atmosphere, but it did get noisy, and I think it's because it's kind of a narrow, long room, so the noise is reverberating, even though there's curtains and carpets. So we thought we might try somewhere else next week. And on the way home, I had a bit of a scoot around the car park, gawping in the windows like I was casing the joint, which I was, of the King's Arms, and we think we might try there, but I'll have to let you know next week. Black coffee, and I need more. I was working on, I'll just have to pause. I was working on a new baby knit because I found a pattern that is, so it looks tiny, doesn't it? I'm up to the armholes now because baby's due in January. So I'm using Baby Cash Soft Merino by Rowan, and I only have 2 beige and 1 cream, so that's why I'm doing a stripe. So I'm doing 8 rows of the beige because I've got twice as much of it, and 4 rows of the cream. And this pattern, I've looked through all my patterns, and so many patterns are like 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 12 months, or 6 to 9, 9 to 12. Anywho, I'm making this one. Which is out of it's in Women's Weekly, and it's like a knitting special, Women's Weekly. It doesn't, I'm just seeing if it says who it's designed by, and I don't know if in the Women's Weekly they actually name the designer. The yarn that they used was, it's called Sweet Pea, and I can't see the name of a designer. And the yarn that they used was Berger de France Parisienne in light green. And it doesn't actually say whether it's a DK or a 4-ply. But it does say use 3 3/4 needles. So then I had to go and Google it and find out if it was a DK, and it said it was a DK. So I'm using a DK. I'm wiping my nose and now it looks all red. So this is called Sweet Pea, and the reason that I started to knit this one is because the first size is 1 month, the second size is 3 months, and the third size is 6 months. And the width is actual measurement 44 centimeters around, and it's in this Knitting and Crochet Women's Weekly Home Series from 2010. But you never know, you might be able to find it still. It was only £3.50, which looks cheap now, but then in 2010 it might have not been. It's a little while ago, isn't it? I've never knit this one before, and I've obviously had this magazine for a long time. I don't think I've made anything out of it whatsoever. Which is why I can't throw them away, because you always come across something, don't you? At a different time, for a different person that you didn't know then. What I thought was really nice about this one, it does have some little shoes that goes with it, but also the fact that the front's doubled. I thought that was going to be extra warm for January. So I have a bag that I've put all my baby wool in, and I have about 6 or 7 balls of cream, and none of them are the same as each other. So I think that's going to be hats and just odd accessories. But I've got quite a bit to go at. I don't have a cold. I think it's probably dust through going through all my cardigans. So my other project, I'll probably put some pictures up of that, because I did take some and they might be a bit more explanatory. But it's the Tunisian. That's my other ball for that one. My Tunisian jumper has a sleeve. I am now on the cuff. Well, I need to start the cuff. So it's only got a couple of stitches held on there. Whoops. But as you can see, it's got a bit crumpled. And I still haven't got rid of that. I think it shows up more on the screen than it does really. So I have a sleeve, which was pretty straightforward. So I just have to do the other sleeve and all the edges by the end of the month. And in fact, I'm going to use one of my little stitch markers to put through the end where the loop is, so it doesn't come undone. I made the mitts, I think I showed you, didn't I? And I did cast on for the booties. That was fluff. But they're pink, and I was with somebody I wasn't letting on, so I couldn't make them while I was there. Right. I think I've told you all of that. I am wearing eyelets and lace. I've chopped my head off, haven't I? It's now you can't see my jumper. Eyelets and lace Curved hem cardigan by Sweater Babe, and this is a very old pattern. It's probably still available. I've made it twice, and the other one's mustard and seems to sit higher up. This yarn is Rowan Lima, which is gorgeously soft and probably was quite expensive. And if you have any knocking about that you haven't knitted up, I would suggest you make it in something two needle sizes smaller than it says on the band, because it's just got a life of its own, and it's kind of a knitted structure, and it just stretches, and you see my buttons don't stay fastened because it's just, anyway, it's very warm. And we have, it's longer at the back and shorter at the front. The mustard one's a little bit better, I think, than this, because it's in, can I remember? I can't remember. Anyway, it's nice, kind of a flattering shape. But I think that, I didn't know I had that on until I got it out. So the pets are all right. We've had, last night I saw the Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights, over the sea. Very late, I went out, it's not far, and I took the younger doggy with me because the older dog, she probably was asleep, or I'd have been pulling around. So I took one dog with me and a big stick, just in case. And then she wanted the ball flinging for her. And took some photographs of the sky. And mine are more or less how it was. They haven't really accentuated the colours, but you could see the colours with your eyes. You didn't need to have the camera to see the colours. And I thought they gave quite a good an idea of scale. So I put them on for you. I can't look at the Northern Lights without singing that song. But I won't sing it here. So expedition tomorrow, and I'll probably stick that on the end, but I don't know if I will.
That's nice, isn't it?
Are they old
Lovely for cakes.
old boat houses?
It's an old warehouse.
Leonard's Coffee House.
That's where all the lovely cakes are.
Oh, look. There's like a bit of sparkle.
Bit of bling. She's got those some great signs. Traditional embroidery. Oh, metalwork. Oh, I want to learn crewel work so that I can. Am I okay to talk about?
Yeah. Number 5. Oh, it's closed.
Durham
We just want coffee and cake.
Durham just closes at 4 o'clock.
I like the picture on the scaffolding. We have a phone box with a defibrillator in it and no phone. And some very pretty old stone toilets. Durham Cathedral. Pants. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Which one?
So that's all for this week. So more news, maybe next week.